Hey everyone, look what I have, the new Resin bubble removal machine. It's the Air Zero Pro, and I've heard that there's been a lot of improvements from the last one, so I'm really anxious to try it out. So in this video, we are going to be doing a bunch of into resin molds. Whoop, there goes one. These are all the ones I haven't done yet. Some of them I've opened just to look at, to try to figure out what they are, and I think I know what most of them are. But let me get this. This one went flying. But this one here, I don't know. I don't remember ordering this. I've done paw molds before, but I don't see another one that goes with it. So I'm not really sure what it is. So I guess we'll find out. And then this is going to be the giveaway mold. This has the rose in it. It's a rose box, and it looks really pretty online. So we're going to do that, and that's a giveaway. And then I've got some other ones. These are other rose boxes. I don't know what I got on that. It's brand new. So there's another rose box mold that has a lot of little roses. I have a giant turtle. Oh, these are really pretty. The turtle and the crab ones. Some great big molds that I've not done yet and you've not seen. I don't think I've seen anybody do these, but who knows. And here's two more. I don't even know what's in them. This is a square mold and this is a round mold. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get to them all in one day, but I think maybe I can do these. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 molds. And then I could do all these. These are oh, here's another one. Here's the 8th mold. Maybe it's going to take 3 days. I don't know. But these are all Christmas ornament molds. These are new ones. And look what I found. Here's another angel mold that's real pretty. And this one's on Into Resin. And this you can't find on Amazon. This is super pretty too. So yeah, so a whole bunch of Christmas molds. And I don't know what I don't even remember ordering these. These are little flower molds too. So yeah, so keep watching, and we're gonna see what's new with the Resin air bubble removal machine, and see how it works. And we're gonna do a whole bunch of into resin molds. So I hope you stick around. Hey everyone, I have the new Resin Zero Pro bubble removal machine. It just came out a little while ago. This, I'm really excited about it because they said they've made some improvements. The main improvement being that it removes the bubbles much faster. It has a stronger motor or suction in it. But other than that, it pretty much looks the same, except for my old one was blue. This one is purple. The lid still lifts off. It has the silicone mat on the bottom here in case you have any bubble overs. It has the controls on the front. The controls work exactly the same, but I'm going to go over them all with you, especially for those who have not seen this before. And then we're going to be doing a whole bunch of projects with it. And see exactly how it works. So all you do is touch it one time to start it. Then you set your time. If you click it one time, it'll automatically go to 5 minutes. You can then continue to adjust the time up. The highest it'll go is 15 minutes. To start it, you just push one time. Make sure you push down on the top to make sure that it is sealed. Because if it's not sealed, this will not start going up, the negative pressure. So this will count down from whatever you have it set to, down to 0, and this will go up to a negative 99. If that is not increasing, that means the machine is not sealed, so you need to press down on the top or see what's causing it not to seal. If it looks like it's going to bubble over, push it one time, it'll go down and then continue to go up. To stop it, you just hold in on it, and it will automatically release its suction, degas, and then you're able to remove the top. And all you have to do is lift up on the top and it comes right off. It's super easy to do. So now that you know how it works, we're going to test it out by making a whole bunch of molds. So I hope you keep watching. The resin I'm using for this project is Bond Craftor casting resin. It's a 1-to-1 ratio resin that I use for molds and for glass on glass. So these first two molds are actually the back of the turtle and the crab molds, and I honestly can't tell which is which right now, but they all have embedded in the back of them little stars and different shells. So I took the Let's Resin chameleon powders. I did a couple different color blues and purple. They're all kind of pastel looking. I thought that would look real pretty. And I painted in the back. And I'm using these little micro brushes. And I had purchased the purple ones a while back, and Annie sent me some other ones, and I didn't realize that the different colored ones are actually different sizes as far as the head on them, and they make it a lot easier to get the color in without going over when you're painting small areas with your mica powders or chameleon powders or whatnot. So anyway, for these I'm using the purple ones, and the other top, the crab top, is not exactly the same, but very similar. I actually think this is the turtle one. The turtle one I think has more colors in it. And it has some little round circles, which I'm assuming are pearls, or supposed to look like pearls, white pearls. And those I'm actually using a Q-tip to get the white down in there. And I guess I could have put a pearl down in there maybe, I don't know. But anyway, that's how I paint the backs of both of these. And then the bottom of the turtle has little stars all the way around the perimeter, and I used the same little swabs and painted them the same colors as I put on the back. And I clean up by using some isopropyl alcohol on a little Q-tip. So I, of course, have this sped way up. This was actually about 40 minutes, I think. 40 minutes of videoing from the beginning of the turtle and the crab to the end of the turtle or the crab, painting them with the paint and with the cleanup. So I have it condensed down to about 5 minutes at the most. And this is the bottom of the crab mold, and it only has two little impressions, a shell and a star right in its claws, and nothing else around the perimeter or anything. And then this last one, well, it's not the last one, I have more to do. This one here is the giveaway mold. It's the rose box. It has a top that screws on, and I think these are both Let's Resin powders that I'm using here too. I don't believe they're the chameleon ones, though. They're either the chrome powders, or I think they might be the chrome powders. And I just do the flower and the leaves. And this last one is the cute little sunflower mold that has a little top that screws on. And I'm painting this one with chrome powders. This one is the Baltic Day chrome powders. So these are similar to the Let's Resin chrome powders. The difference being the Baltic Day, they come in much smaller containers, but you get 16. And I think the Let's Resin ones are much larger containers, and you get 10. So that's the only difference between them. So I use the chrome powder just to paint the stem and the leaves, and my plan is to use a translucent octopus inks, the yellow and maybe orange, to create the colors of the flower. I'll pour that down in there. And it's really important after you finish painting your mica powders, especially the chrome powders, to flip it over and really tap really hard on the back and get all of that excess powder out so that it doesn't mix in with the resin that you pour in and discolor the new resin that you pour in. The only thing that was confusing for me on this was the top part I put a little bit of green under that one area that doesn't have green, like it doesn't look like the leaves go up, so I don't know if I made a mistake doing that or not, but I guess we'll find out when I demold it. So I'm using the Let's Resin Air Zero Pro for the first time. I made sure my cups of resin were nice and bubbly, and I'm turning it on for 5 minutes, and I'll put this into a fast forward mode. So right now I'm showing you 5 minutes in 30 seconds. I'll show you the whole process, but I'm doing it way in fast forward. And I'd like to say that it reaches the -99 much faster than it did before. And I can notice the bubbles rising much faster. And actually the one on the right comes back down on itself pretty quick too, which means it's almost completely done. Yeah, I can definitely notice a difference. And then after the 5 minutes are up, you'll kind of almost see it jump a little bit because it releases the pressure on its own. Let's see, it should at any second now. Yeah, right there. It kind of jumps. It looks like it jumps. But anyway, and then it releases the pressure on its own, and see how it's going, counting down from the -99 back down to 0. And as soon as it hits 0, then you can remove the top off of it. It'll, easily come off. So I decided to go ahead and fit this one in at the last minute, and the little paw print. I don't know if it's a tray, it's just supposed to be 1 piece or 2 pieces, and I'm using the Let's Resin Chameleon powder to paint all the little toes and the paw pad there. And I just paint that in, and the resin that I'm going to be using, of course, is the resin that I just put through the machine. And look at that. It really is crystal clear. It looks beautiful. Did a good job. So that's what I'm going to be pouring into the paw print. So the first one that I'm doing is the turtle mold, and for the turtle mold I mixed Let's Resin Chameleon flakes in it, the kind of translucent ones. They're super pretty. You can kind of see the sparkle right from here. Yeah, they're real pretty. So I filled both sides with the Let's Resin Chameleon flakes and used my little bubble wand to go around the edges. Anything that has a lip on it, if you use something to go around it to pull the bubbles out, because bubbles can get trapped under there. I had about 4 ounces of resin left that had the chameleon flakes in it from the turtle, so I just added some more clear resin, and I used the cherry octopus ink, and I really didn't mean for it to get that dark, but it did. These octopus inks are really highly concentrated, and then I just went around the edge with the bubble wand on that one. Next one I did was the crab mold, and with this one I mixed crushed crystal. I decided to use crushed crystal this time and see what the difference is between the two, because the crab and the turtle mold have the same effect on the mold, and I just wanted to see what the difference was, how different they looked. So anyway, I poured the resin into the crab mold and then used the bubble wand again around the lip of the top of the crab mold. Next one was the sunflower, and I had some crushed crystal left in that cup, and then I put the sunlight octopus ink in it and mixed that up and poured that into the sunflower. And once I got the very bottom of the sunflower filled in, I mixed some of the starfish in it, which is kind of a corally color. And I also had some resin left over in a bunch of the other cups, and so what I did was scraped out all the other cups and mixed it in there, because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough resin to completely fill that sunflower. So, but I ended up having just enough. Next, I pour my resin. So this is clear resin, and I think I put crushed crystal in it for the paw print. I'm pretty sure I put crushed crystal in it. Gosh, no, I don't remember. I'll know when I demold it. And then I took some of the resin, after I topped that off, I took some of the resin and mixed it with some black octopus ink and some glitter, both from Laura's Art Corner. The glitter is called Fantasy Sand Castle and it's gold. And I thought a lot of that might drop to the bottom and help with the effect of the center of the sunflower. I don't know, we'll see. And then around the edges, under the lip, anything that has a lip on it, you have to really check for bubbles and try to pull them out. Sometimes I have a hard time with this wand. I'm a little awkward with it. But if you just go right around the edge and just try to pull the bubbles out, and it's smooth around the edge, so you don't have to worry about it scratching the sides. And if you're interested in one of those bubble wands, Laura's Art Corner also has them. Anything I've used in this video from Laura's Art Corner, I have a 10% discount, and also any of the Let's Resin products, I also have a 10% discount code under the description. For Laura's Art Corner, it's Crazy Glass Lady. For Let's Resin, it's Linda 2025. For some reason, they're the only company who couldn't give me the Crazy Glass Lady logo. I don't know why, but anyway, that's what it is. 10% off either of those companies. I have a lot of discount codes in my description if you want to check them out. So the resin I'm using is Bond Craftor resin, and I have a 20% discount Crazy Glass Lady for that product. The Bond Craftor resin is really a nice resin. And then I continued to use the bubble wand on some of the other ones, and the other ones were really starting to thicken up quite a bit. And then whatever resin I had left, I ended up making into a couple of butterflies. Yeah, I had enough resin left, I think, to make 2 butterflies. So I put them on the heat table. Oh, isn't that pretty? That's the butterfly that I guess I dripped a little bit of orange in, or there was some orange resin left. I don't know why. Oh, from the sunflower. And then this is the one with the white, or the crushed crystal. And then here I decided I need to put my gloves on, because if you're going to touch the inside of the molds, they suggest, these handmade molds, they suggest that you wear gloves. And I'm looking very carefully to see if there's any bubbles around the edges, and I think there was one little bubble around the edge. It really turned out pretty good. I just don't like that color. It looks real pretty if you put it in there real concentrated. It makes it nice and dark, like a cherry red. But I don't know, I guess it doesn't really go with that flower. What do you guys think? And that just sets on top. It doesn't screw on. But it is pretty. The box is beautiful. And it does have crushed crystal in there too. And the rose is pretty too. I just don't think the 2 reds go together very well. I think I'll do another one and make the flower with the white chameleon flakes. And then this is my sunflower, and I'm going to finally find out what I was supposed to do with that one part where there wasn't any green or anywhere to put a leaf. Oh, that one leaf is sticking up. Oh, and that worked out perfect for the center. That turned out real pretty, but look at the leaf up at the top. That was supposed to be green. So that would have been the part that was way underneath. So I would have had to paint that under there green, and I didn't. So next time I will. So yeah, you really had to know what you were doing before you did it. And then this is the paw print that I swear I never ordered. I've had other paw prints before, but they were boxes. And this one, I guess, is a tray, so it is only 1 piece. I just don't remember ever ordering it. So that's really cute. I like that. And then this is the crab. The crab and the turtle, I just can't wait to see what they look like. And the best way to get overpour off of this, if it doesn't come right off, is just heat it with your heat gun. And it literally just falls right off for the most part if you heat it enough. See that? comes right off. And it doesn't leave a sharp edge when you heat it that way either. Isn't that pretty? I got to do another one with some color in it. So that one had the crushed crystal in it. Oh, isn't that pretty? I just think that crab is so pretty. It looks great just clear like that. And I mean, you probably didn't even have to put crushed crystal in it because it's so sparkly anyway. But I did. It makes it even more sparkly. Yeah, that is super pretty. All right, and then last is the turtle. So this is the bottom part. And that's real pretty. You could even have it just like that. And that's the one that I put the little stars all around the outside. Yeah, those are real cute. And this one, I put the top and bottom, I put the chameleon flakes, the Let's Resin chameleon flakes. And there aren't any bubbles around the edges. Isn't that pretty? I think that's so pretty. I'm going to try both of them by putting some color in them. And I'm going to do this one without any color in it. Yeah, I think there's just one. I have to turn the light on because I can't see. I thought I had seen a bubble before. Yeah, there's one in there. But I think those all turned out really cute. I'll have to color the yellow leaf on there and make it green. And then I'm going to do something with glass art with the paw and with the sunflower. And then I'm going to repeat these other three in a different way. And if you ever get... I get resin on that all the time and forget to clean it off. You got to heat it up really well with the heat gun. Just be careful you don't burn yourself. But I'm going to have to use it again. So yeah, if you heat it up really hot, it just crumbles off. That's the bubble wand. The bubble wand, and if you want a bubble wand, you can get them from Laura's Art Corner, and I have a 10% discount code, and these really do work nice. See how it's just crumbling off now? I always forget to clean it off, and it always has a ton of resin all over it. And the other part of it I kind of messed up because when I first got it, I didn't understand how you use it. I thought you held it by the one spot and put the part with the beads on it under the edges. So I got that all stuck up with resin too. So anyway, so after I demolded those, I decided to do another turtle, another crab, and another rose box, the giveaway mold. And I used these exact same colors. And for some reason, I think last time I told you I used the Let's Resin mica powders. Well, these are really the Let's Resin chameleon mica powders. And I did the turtle and the crab the exact same way, the same colors. I might have mixed a few of them up as far as where they went, but I used the exact same colors. And then for the rose box, I decided after I cleaned it up, because there was some stuff left in it, after I cleaned it up, I did the flower with the Let's Resin chameleon powder, the color, I don't know what color it says on it, but it looks white. It's sitting right there with the white. And then I did the green, I want to say chrome powder for the leaves and stem on it. And then for the very bottom of the rose mold, I used the white chameleon powder also. And now they're ready for resin. I've got them set up on the table. So for the rose box, I used resin mixed with the crushed crystal and put that in the bottom of the box and also the top, and then got out my little bubble wand and went under the lip of the top. It's the tops of the boxes that have the lips on them, and just put it under there to get the bubbles out. I think you're best off if you wait a little while until the bubbles rise to the top, because it's as the bubbles are rising that they get caught under it. It really takes kind of a couple minutes before that happens. So I guess you could go over it first and then wait a few minutes and then go over it again. I guess my camera wasn't recording. It only recorded up to doing the rose box, the one that I had just put the clear and the crushed crystal. And then for the turtle, I ended up putting the crushed crystal and the color plum octopus ink. And for the crab, I ended up putting crushed crystal and the color Smurf octopus ink. And I had some extra left over, so I put some chameleon flakes, the Let's Resin chameleon flakes, in with the resin and poured that. So I went to demold the next day, and this first one turned out really pretty. I was happy with this. I like the way this turned out a lot better than the other. Just with the clear resin, with the crushed crystal, the white flower turned out real pretty. I think a couple edges I may have missed, but I'm probably going to go over it with the silver metallic marker anyway, which would cover that. Wow, that is so pretty. And the same white that I put on the rose, I put inside on those little gems sticking up there. I thought that would look pretty, but I'm really glad I left it clear. Oh, I'm thinking if I just made a top, I could do something with that with glass. Oh, now I'm thinking this video might get longer. I don't know. So anyway, the next one I did was the turtle. And the weird thing is, I thought I used the same color in the top and the bottom. But isn't that weird? The bottom almost looks pink and the top looks purpley. So I don't know what the heck I did. Or did I just not put enough purple in it? I don't know what I did. But don't they look different? And then the next one is the crab, and I really like it blue. It's so pretty. I probably should have made a green turtle, huh? But anyway, but the crab I really like. That is just so pretty. And just so sparkly. I don't know if I like the blue or the clear better. And I don't think I had any bubbles around the perimeter at all. And then the frog, I have to wait because the feet on them are still kind of soft and I don't want to break any of the feet off. And of course I had to make one more turtle, and this time it had to be green. And I painted all of the little shells and hearts and everything white and different shades of gold. This is another into resin mold that I haven't shown you yet, and this thing is huge and it is beautiful. And I actually ended up making several of these. The bottom part of it, it's like a tray, but the bottom part of it actually is tape wrapped around it because it's a split mold. Not the big one, but the small one is actually a split mold. And for the very first one that I did, I put used resin with some crushed crystal, and this is one of the octopus inks, and I don't remember what color it was, but it was purple. I think it's called Aurora. I'm just about positive that's what it's called. And so the small one is taped. Like I said, it's a split mold, and I'm just really worried about bubbles getting down in there. So I am spraying it all the way around the perimeter with isopropyl alcohol, and I know you're not supposed to do that. And after I was done with that, I just poured the resin in, and this took quite a bit of resin. I'm trying to remember how much it took. I never write down how much I put in, but I'm sure it took over 16 ounces between the two of them. Just spraying the top with the isopropyl alcohol and filling them both up. And this is the next day, and I'm going to demold them both. And then you have to take the tape off of the side. This is the split mold. So I should really be wearing gloves on this, but I wasn't. So the cool thing about this is, well, you got to retape it. You really should put fresh tape on it when you do. But this stand here, you could use two different ways. You could have it sitting on the pedestal upright or upside down. Like if you want to do it as a display of something, you can flip it the other way. Like if you're putting like a Christmas display with glass around it and maybe a snowman and Christmas tree or whatever. Or, and also when you're pouring the resin, if you already have the bottom poured, you can just stick that upside down in there instead of having to glue it on. be cured right into the resin. It is super easy to glue it to the bottom. The next one I did, I mixed resin with some gold foil and then just put it all the way around the perimeter, probably about a third of the way up the side. And then I let this cure overnight, and then I poured red. This is actually octopus ink. I think it's called cherry red. It's a beautiful red if you make it dark enough. And let that cure. And the next one, I did the same thing with the gold foil and let that cure, and then poured black resin over that. For the sunflower, I didn't show it, but there was one leaf that was yellow, and I used a marker and painted it green. And then I took a gold metallic marker and just kind of highlighted a lot of the leaves. I thought it made it look real pretty. And then as far as the top goes, because I'm going to be using it for glass art and not as a little jar, I took the B7000 and I just put it all the way around the perimeter of the interior and set that middle back on there so that it would dry. And then I demolded the frog. Remember, I didn't demold it before because the feet were still not cured all the way, and that turned out super pretty. That had the Let's Resin chameleon flakes in it. And then remember, I had done the top to this little rose box, and I just highlighted a lot of the edges with the gold. And then you can see the mold sitting right next to it, and I make it identical to that one, but all I'm doing is the top. This first one was an entire box, top and bottom, but I decided I'm going to use just a top and use it in some kind of glass art. So I color it the exact same way. I use the white chameleon flakes from Let's Resin to color the flower, and I use the green chrome powder to color the leaves and the stem. So although I only end up using 2 of these 3 frames that I'm showing you, this is how I seal them. A lot of times I use glue. It just depends on how big of a hurry I'm in. So I took UV resin, put it around the perimeter, put the glass back in, and put the UV light on for a couple of minutes. A lot of times I'll use glue and do it the exact same way. The only difference is the glue needs to dry overnight. So after I take the UV light off of it, I put UV resin around the perimeter one more time and put the UV light back on it. What this does is it helps to hold the glass in place, and it helps to prevent resin leaks when you put epoxy resin on the other side. This second square frame that I'm showing you here, I do end up using in the project, and I adhere the glass to the frame the exact same way. In this third frame, I attach the glass to the frame the same way. And here I'm using my Cricut, a design space, and I printed up some words to go along with the paw print. And this says, "You had me at woof," for a little doggy. So for those of you that don't have a Cricut, I actually have a video showing you how to write on your glass so that it looks like you used a Cricut. And I will link the video at the end of this video. And so for all 3 of these frames, I took regular painter's tape and put that around the perimeter of the back as an extra precaution against resin leaks. I mixed up my resin. The resin I'm using for this project is the Bond Craftor casting resin. So you can use casting resin for glass on glass. It works perfectly fine. You do not need to use a coating resin. I poured it on my first little project there and just kind of moved it around on the glass till it covered everything. It's in your best interest, or it's easier to spread resin on the glass before you actually put your other stuff on it. It just makes it a lot easier. And I just put my little top with the little white rose on it and sprinkled the glass around the perimeter. And this glass is glass from Michaels that they no longer carry. It's a little bit smaller than 1/4-inch fire glass, and I do have a solution that I talk about at the end of this video about what kind of glass you can use instead of this, seeing that they don't carry it anymore. It's glass that you can order on Amazon. And next, I pour my resin on the second project the same way, and I use the kitchen torch to get rid of the bubbles, and then I put my little sunflower on it. And then I take the same glass that I used for the previous project and just spread it all the way around the perimeter. And when you have resin under it already on the glass and you're just putting a thin layer of glass on, you do not need to drizzle more resin over the top. It actually sparkles more if you don't flood the glass with resin. So yeah, as long as each piece is touching the resin, it should hold in place fine. And I took some glitter that I got from Laura's Art Corner called Fantasy Sandcastle and sprinkled it over the glass around the sunflower and around the rose, just to give it a little extra sparkle. Next, I poured the resin over my third and final project, spread the resin out, and put my, it's actually a paw print tray that I'm using in this. So you could use it as a tray or you could use it with glass art. And then I just took, this is actually Ashland decorative filler. I almost wish this was a little bigger so I could put some more glass around it, but this is Ashland decorative filler, the crushed glass that's been colored a light blue. And the only thing with this kind of glass, or with any glitter, when you first put it on, you have to come back and really check it every 15 minutes because this glass will move. You know how resin moves as it cures? Well, it moves the glass. So you have to kind of keep on coming back and pushing it back into place. And that's what I did with this. And then I had some extra resin. So here comes my butterfly molds again. I got 3 butterfly molds out and I mixed it with some pink mica powder and poured it into the butterflies. Hey everyone, so I showed you the new Let's Resin Air Zero Pro. Works really good. The suction is much stronger, removes the bubbles much faster. So all my into resin molds, I think everything I used here is an into resin mold. So I started with my turtles and crab, and these are super cute molds, honestly. So, oops, I'm moving the camera. So isn't that pretty? I don't know why I wanted to do it clear, but I think sure is pretty. And when I put the crushed crystal in, and the other one I put the Let's Resin chameleon flakes in. And I believe the turtle is the one I put the Let's Resin chameleon flakes in. Isn't that pretty? Did I do? Yeah. So I ended up doing a green turtle. I don't know why I decided to do a pink one. I ended up doing a couple pink ones. So this was the one I kind of messed up. I don't know what I did, because look from the side how they look like 2 different colors. Isn't that weird? So, but it still turned out pretty, I guess. And by the way, I am going to start selling some of the, I guess you call them demos, and I'll show you why in a minute. So, and look at, there was a pink one. I don't know why I wanted to do a pink one, but they just, the sparkle on them is so pretty. And then this was the green one that I did. And I ended up doing like gold and silver on the top, but I think it would have looked better if I did just all dark gold. But look at that. Yeah, actually the green shows the sparkle more, I think. Yeah, so when you do these kind of molds with the special effects, you're better off using a transparent colorant. So these were all with alcohol inks that I did. And then the blue crab's pretty. I'm not sure what other color I would do them. What color would you guys do them? but he's super pretty. I saw on the Into Resin site, they have him, I think they did his claws a different color. They might have done them black, I'm not sure why, but they did the claws a different color. And then, of course, I ended up doing another one of these frogs with extra resin, but I put this sparkles so much, but I put some Let's Resin chameleon flakes in it, and also, which gives it a little iridescent color too. So that's super pretty. I have to finish doing his eyes. I didn't finish coloring his eyes. And then, so this was the very first little jar I made, which is super pretty. And so I had done a Hello Kitty mold. Oh, let me grab that. With the cherry red alcohol ink, octopus ink. And isn't that beautiful? So this is actually what I used here. It's just lighter, which is also pretty, but I just don't think that color red goes with that flower. I should have done it a white, but look at the sparkle on that box. Isn't that pretty? So then I ended up, let's see if we can get this to stand up again. So then I ended up doing this box. I put a piece of tape on there to hold it together with the white flower, and that's real pretty too. And then when I was making this one, I thought to myself, gosh, that would look so pretty on glass art. And that's what gave me the idea when I was looking at it by itself. And I just put that on a little, I don't know if it's a Dollar Tree frame or whatever. I love square frames. I'm always looking for square frames surrounded by glass. Now that glass is from Michaels and they don't carry it anymore. But one of the things that I bought on Amazon is this gold fire glass. It's 1/4 inch fire glass. It's a little bit bigger than the Michaels glass, but you can nip it to any size you want. But this is actually prettier than the Michaels because it has a really nice gold on one edge of it. So anyway, yeah, so I thought that was real pretty like that. It would look pretty with the red flower in the middle too, and the clear. And then the sunflower one, of course, is supposed to be like a little box, and this opens in the middle, but I glued it on, of course, so it wouldn't fall off. But I think that looks real pretty with the glass too. And yet it was kind of deceptive about painting this little leaf there. So you had to go under and in the mold. It was kind of hard to tell, but I did it with marker, metallic marker, and it turned out really nice. So I think that's super pretty. That was real easy to do. And this one is the paw print, and I couldn't figure it out because I had some boxes that I had done a while back that, oh, he doesn't want to stand up, that I had done a while back, and they're smaller than this though. And so I thought, well, there was supposed to be another part. I didn't realize it was a tray until I demolded it. So that's kind of a cute idea. I don't like this as well as the ones I made in my other video, but I thought that's cute. Everybody loves something for a dog or a cat. And the other boxes that I got, like I said, was smaller, and this is the video I made with them. So these were smaller box molds, and you can see the first one, the blue one, is a real pretty box, but the second one, the red one, is actually just the imprints. I just filled the little toes and pad with the red and pulled them out, and that looks really cute. And then I also put it on a nightlight, the top on a nightlight, and on glass art, and see how much prettier it looks with the glass all around it. And then you had me at meow, so I used it for a cat print too. Yeah, I thought that was real cute. And yeah, these are just much smaller, and then I did brighter colors. And then this box has the heart in the back of it. So those are real pretty. It's just a lot brighter than what I did. So I thought those were real cute. Those are nice and bright, nice bright colors. And so then, last but not least, are these little trays. So this one, the red one and that one I didn't attach yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I think they would look really cool upside down like that too, as a little display stand, like for, well, this one for Halloween with the black, and this one for Christmas. and to have some different molds or something on it. I thought that would be real pretty. And the purple one I attached, but I'm going to show you these up close. I'll show you the bottom. So that's the, isn't that pretty? I love the two-tone. And it looks darker here because it's thicker. Remember how we've talked about the resin, when you pour it in real thick, it is darker. And these walls are thin, that's why it looks lighter around there. But look at the purple, isn't that pretty too? Yeah, these are really pretty. So anyway, I was saying that I decided I'm going to sell some of my demos just to recoup some money so I can buy more stuff. Because look what I did. I dropped all this stuff off at the food pantry the other day. I volunteer at a food pantry. Yeah, so people come in on Tuesdays and they can pick up clothing that they might need for their families and home goods. And these are just like extras that they might want. But I mean, this is everything that I've made, and it really is getting very, very expensive for me. And I thought, well, maybe if I could list some stuff that's halfway decent on eBay, maybe I could get some money back so that I could make more videos. Otherwise, I'm gonna go broke. So anyway, I'm gonna have an eBay site. So yeah, I thought, wow. You know, and on YouTube, you don't get paid. You can spend all this time and all this money making a video, and you only get paid like $20 or $30 a video, maybe a little bit more. It just depends on how many people watch it. And some people, if you only get a couple hundred views, you might make $3 or $4. It's really deceptive. People think that you make a lot of money on YouTube, but you don't. You can make some money with your affiliate accounts, but you know, somebody has to click on your link. So anyway, I have had an eBay account for years and years. I used to sell stuff a long time ago. No craft stuff, just stuff that the kids didn't use anymore. The first thing I ever sold was, do you remember the shoes for kids and the little wheels popped out of the heel, and you'd see these kids skating around in the stores? Well, I bought 3 pairs for my kids when they were younger, 100 years ago. And I think they wore them once or twice, and they were like $50. And, you know, 25 years ago, that was a lot of money. So that was, I think, the first thing that I sold on eBay. And then I used to sell costumes when my daughter was in a competitive dance team, because they paid so much for them and then didn't even reuse them. But anyway, so I'm probably going to be listing some of this stuff, and hopefully somebody buys some of it. Anyway. Also, don't forget, this is the giveaway mold. Be sure to mention it under the comments that you're interested in winning the giveaway mold. Isn't that beautiful? It's the rose box. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was in my last video, I had talked about the things that I did a demonstration of different additives that you can put in resin that affect the bubbling, you know, how much it'll bubble up. And today I wanted to just touch on a few things, and most of you guys know this, but people who are new to resin don't realize that the way that you stir your resin and the consistency of your resin makes a big difference in creating bubbles. So especially if you can't afford a bubble removal machine and are doing molds, the best thing to do is to warm your resin. It'll make it thinner and it will create less bubbles. So the thinner your resin is, the slower you stir it, the less bubbles you'll get, and you can let it sit for a little while. You can use a torch on it in a cup. It's not in your best interest to use a torch in a mold because you can damage the mold, especially these expensive molds. And but you can spritz alcohol on it. That's the other thing that you can do to help prevent bubbles. And And what I do to warm the resin, they'll tell you to take one of the bottles and stick it into hot water, not boiling water, but hot water. But I usually put both part A and part B, how much I'm going to use, in the cup, and then stick it in the hot water and let it sit for about 5 minutes. And you won't believe how much thinner it becomes. The other thing is, for those of you, so I use, this is Bond Craftor resin, and I use the casting resin, which is much less expensive than coating resins, for glass on glass also. So I used a coating resin for, casting resin, which you usually use in molds, or they also call it a craft resin, for all my glass on glass, because it works fine. It's 1/3 the price than a lot of the coating or tabletop resins, just so you know. So glass on glass, but you cannot use a casting resin on wood or on canvas because it will leave fish eyes or empty areas. And you do not need a bubble removal machine when you're doing it for glass on glass, because it's poured so thin, the bubbles just rise right to the top, and most of them will dissipate on their own. But those that don't, you can hit with a torch. So you can use a torch on something like this, a torch, a heat gun, whatever. But on molds, it's in your best interest not to use one. I know people do. I've seen people do it. You could also use a little lighter to get the bubbles. That way the flame is directed more toward the bubble and not, where it could hit around the mold and ruin it. So anyway, our new Air Zero Pro from Let's Resin works really good. The suction is much stronger now. Check that out. I have a 10% discount code, Linda2025. Into resin, I have 20% discount code, Crazy Glass Lady. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, if you give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the hype button, that really helps the channel. If you enjoy the channel and haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We have an amazing Facebook group. Come check us out over there. I will leave a link to anything that I might be selling in eBay under the description. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.